I do,
Awesome.
and he does it right.
Good,
I'm
great,
a little
Noah.
slower at that, so I'm going to turn it over to Noah.
Wonderful. All right, let's make a leaf.
All
for my
right, this
table.
is
How
your
about
leaf. Perfect. What we do is, I know you want a lot of sawmill marks
Yes,
on
I
it.
do.
And you want a lot of the antiquity of the wood, so we're
Right.
going to look for whatever side has the most character, you know, like the nail holes.
Okay.
This rough hewn look right here. So
Okay.
we'll look at both sides.
All right.
And I think I'm going to use this side. 'Cause
Okay.
It has some antiquity there, and I don't really like that right there. So this will be
Great.
our outside board.
Okay.
And I like these pieces. This is going to leave too much of a dip because the joiner didn't take
Didn't
it, so
hit
you'll
it,
have
okay.
like too much of a dip.
Okay.
So that'll go on the bottom.
Okay.
And this right here, this dark spot,
Right.
that will stand out once the lacquer goes on. So we'll put that like that.
Beautiful.
So this is your leaf.
Okay.
So what we want to do is we want to take our T-square and I'll make lines where we'll register on the doweling machine, and this is where we're going to, these lines are going to represent where the actual dowel goes into the wood
Okay.
when we laminate. And this is the same process we do with a tabletop as well.
Okay.
You know, it's all the same, it's just a little bit smaller.
All right, so you're going to mark it now, then you're going to actually, are you going to actually dowel it together now?
Well, I'll mark it and I'll let Tom dowel it.
Okay.
He's the dowel master.
Ah, the dowel master. I like that.
The dowel master general.
So much zen going on here.
All right, so this, you'll have half of the dowel go in on this side and half on that side, and
Okay.
it makes it so it lines up perfectly. So this, once it's glued up, this is nice and flush, and you don't have to fight the board while it's
Okay.
being glued up.
Understand.
And for something like this, we'll do probably 3 dowels. A tabletop would get between, I don't know, 5 and 6 dowels, but 3 should be good for this. So there's your second line.
Okay.
There's your third line.
Great, and I noticed they fit together so nicely. We
Yeah,
were talking about that with Tom, about how, to plane it and get it perfect so that when you glue that edge, and they're just beautiful. Very
yeah,
nice.
you want a nice tight joint.
Yeah, awesome, great.
All right.
All right, now what?
Now Tom's going to take it over to the doweling machine, and he'll dowel these.
Okay, so Tom, now you're the master doweler.
Indeed,
right?
indeed.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to do this on a machine?
I am. Yeah, I mean, you can do it by hand, but the machine, because we do tables every day,
Right.
a lot going on. We dowel a lot of things besides just the tops. We use a machine because it's precise and it's very accurate.
Okay.
And it's a pretty neat little machine. What we'll be doing is everywhere that Noah had a line,
Right.
We'll be putting a hole through it.
Okay.
And then we'll put them back together with dowels and glue, and the dowels hold it dead center. So when you glue it up, instead of one being up just a little bit,
Right.
if I didn't have dowels, one might be up a little, one might be down a little.
Okay.
And you hit it with a hammer, and then the other end pops up. It's just dowels really align it nicely, and it brings glue down about 1.5 inches into the board, and makes a really secure joint. So even if this could come loose
Right.
someday, let's just say you had your upstairs of your house flood and all the water came in the dining room and it soaked your tabletop and somehow that came loose, the dowels would not give up.
Okay.
Because it's in the core of the tabletop.
Okay.
So dowels, besides lining it up, make an excellent bonder. They make it really strong.
Okay, and you have to have glue, right? That's
Yeah.
what's actually going to hold it together.
Well,
too, 'cause
I mean, you
when I
don't-
hear glue, it makes me so nervous, and
Right.
I don't know why.
Is that from your childhood? Or?
I think it was a childhood bad experience with Elmer's, you know.
There you go.
Yeah, but wood, you just want to think of solid wood, not the sort of thing that, we buy sometimes
Right.
in bad furniture stores now. So,
Yep.
but you have to glue it together because we're using planks, right? So,
Well, to be honest with you, you don't have to glue it, but if you didn't glue it together, you could hold it together. You have to hold it together somehow with some screws underneath or something.
Okay.
But what happens is Mother Nature, with humidity and dryness air in the wintertime,
Right.
makes each board shrink in the winter
Right.
and expand in the summer with humidity. And if you don't glue it together, each board shrinks and expands individually, and you'll end up with like little gaps like this, like I'm sure you've seen on picnic tables
yeah,
before.
or my hardwood floor too.
Yeah, a hardwood floor, exactly.
Right.
But when you glue it together tightly and it's doweled, the whole tabletop shrinks and expands together.
So it moves as more
It
like
moves as one
piece.
unit. Yep,
Okay, got it.
exactly.
Well, that makes sense. Okay.
And that way you don't get any cracks. And we build the table, like on your trestle table, the way we fasten it from underneath, it allows it to be able to move back and forth like 1/4 of an inch.
Oh,
The
really?
screws, the way we put them in, they can actually tilt back and forth like that. You'd never see it, but it happens.
Yeah.
And that keeps the
Interesting.
top from cracking.
Okay, great. So we're going to take these boards over to the machine.
I'll show you how this
All right.
works. This is our dialing machine right here. And the first thing you have to do, this is your drill bit right here.
Okay.
And you want that drill bit to hit in the center.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put it up here and I have to look from this angle over here to find out if it's in the center.
Okay.
Look in there and tell me if you think that's close.
No.
Yeah, it's close but no cookie, right? So I'm gonna lower this until you tell me that it is about center. Am I going the right way?
Yep, about there.
There?
Yep.
Right there, is that good right there?
I think that's pretty
Okay.
good.
All right, then
It's my table, huh?
we have a little, yeah, that's right. There's a little laser that I bought from Lowe's. It shoots a line straight across the top of the board.
Okay.
And we line that up with the pencil line that Noah put on there.
Okay.
So it comes on dead on. And the reason I did this laser thing, because the machine didn't come with it, is I wanted to tilt the laser so it comes out right at, there's a little barb on the end of that drill bit. You see that little point?
I see it.
I did it so that you can line it up with that point and know that you really have the line dead on to the drill bit
Right.
point on there. So you'll get a dead center every time.
Yeah.
All right,
Great
so then we'll
idea.
put this on. Now I will warn you, this machine is dangerous because when I step on this pedal right here, that's going to come down. It comes down with 1,500 pounds of pressure.
Whoa.
So it literally locks the board in, it can't move, and then this is going to push in and drill.
Okay.
So I did have one employee one time, a beautiful girl came in the showroom and he's checking her out, and he stepped on that, and I'm not making it up, it took off about 3/4 of his thumb. So you do want to keep your hands you know, out here.
I'll just keep my whole body over here. How about that?
Might be a good idea. All right, so I'll line that up. It's that simple.
That's it?
Yeah,
I think it's a little high.
you're right. Oh well, it'll still work. All right, then we'll take the next one and just keep it going.
Okay.
Exactly the same height when you glue them together.
Right. So that's it. So only on one side on 2 of the boards because they're the ends, right?
Well, actually, it's only one board. When there's a 3-board top, there's only one board that gets it on both sides.
Both sides.
Yep,
Okay,
the
great.
other 2 only on one
so
side.
we're finished.
Yeah, and by the way, this the reason we're doing the leaf to show the people at home how this is done is a tabletop with 6 boards and all those holes.
Right.
We'd be here for half an hour putting in holes. So
I gotcha. That
it's
makes
easy
more
to dial
sense.
this and give the demonstration of how they go together.
Great, but
So-
it's all done the same.
Yeah, it's done exactly the same
Okay.
way, and now we'll glue it up.
All right,
All
great.
right.
Let's go.
All right, we're ready to glue it up.
Okay.
And we're going to be using these dowel rods.
All right.
These are, they have little spirals in them, so
I see
as you
that.
push it in, the glue will actually follow the line, and
Okay.
it spirals down as you clamp in.
Okay.
And these are just made out of maple.
All right.
And when you put them in, I mean, they don't have to be chestnut. No one's ever going to see them.
Right.
It's just the idea is you push it in there, and the glue will follow through on the
Okay,
holes
and
and
set it.
lock it in really
Okay,
well.
gotcha.
Yeah, and what I do is I take the edge of a dowel and see these little particles right here? You don't want those in the way because that can actually cause, let's just say that one broke off while I'm gluing up. That would be in the way pushing the board apart. You don't want it there. So I just go like this, knock off all the peach fuzz. Anything else that stays on there is fine.
Okay.
Like that, all right?
And what type of glue? Just regular wood
it
glue?
doesn't really matter. This is Type Bond, okay? I also use Elmer's Carpenter's glue, which is another good glue.
Okay.
But any good glue that's made for woodworking, the way they make glues nowadays, when I glue that up, if you hit it with a hammer 2 hours from now, it won't be the glue line that breaks.
Really?
Yeah, it's that strong.
Wow.
So they're all good as long as they're made for woodworking. So what I do is I put a straight line, I drop it in the hole, into each hole there. All right, and then you take your dowel rod right
Right.
here, and you just push it and it pushes the glue where you want it.
Okay.
I stop here and come back the other way.
Uh-huh.
All right.
That looks like art, Tom.
I'm telling you. And then you pop that in, and that one in. And see, the glue just shot out of that hole?
I did.
Yeah, that shows you how it actually is going through there, even though you may not see it. It is definitely going through. And then I have a rubber mallet here to knock them in
For the
case
ones
they have
that
a
won't-
tough one.
Uh-huh.
That's definitely a Texas pin there. It's a little troublesome.
Bigger.
All right. Now, all right.
Okay.
So this one here is set and
All right.
ready. Now we'll go to the next one. That one was number 4.
Right.
So we're looking for number 3. See number 3
I
there?
do.
All right, and that 3 is going to go next to the 4. So this is the one that I want to put the glue on.
Okay.
So lay that right here, and I'm wiping it off with my finger. I'm going to hit it with a dowel. Make sure there's no little pieces of sawdust on there to get in my way. All right.
Okay.
Glue in a straight line. And with wormy chestnut, sometimes it'll hit a wormhole and it will squirt right out the other side of the top. Of course, when you hand plane it, it comes right off.
Right.
But it is kind of funny that it travels like that. And it doesn't matter if you get glue over the edges. It's all going to be hand planed off.
Okay.
And that's like a good application there. A little less there. And we're going to be trimming the ends off, by the way. That's why it doesn't matter that much on the ends.
Okay.
We make everything a little bigger than it needs to be. All right, so pop that in. I'll let you hammer these in. There you go.
All of them?
Yep,
What do you think?
that's good.
Hammering like a girl instead of a guy, aren't I? How about that?
All right, perfect.
Good?
All right, so we're gonna pop this up here. We're matching 3 to 3.
Okay.
All right, and we're gonna tap it lightly here.
All right.
You don't want to hit too hard because you could bend over, you know,
The edge.
that nice jointed edge.
Yep.
And on softer woods, you want to make sure that you don't put a big dent in there.
Yeah.
Now, it wouldn't matter for yours. Yours is very rustic, but if it was a table that was super refined,
Right.
you could put a permanent dent in between the two.
Ah.
All right, now for the last piece,
Yes, sir.
do our little straight line thing here. I would let you do the glue part, but you'd probably ruin your nails. And I know you're scared to death of glue, so
I do have a phobia.
I'll do the hard part here.
Uh-huh.
Let's see.
Build your own antique tables made daily.
We are up to our last piece
Okay.
here, and we're gonna match it up. Let's see what we got there. All right, make sure you had plenty of glue there. Yeah,
Yeah.
looks good. All right, I'm gonna lay it down here.
Okay. So that's enough glue to hold
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Ah, you know me and the glue thing.
And chestnuts relatively soft, and glue works really fast with it.
Okay.
Like a harder wood, you need more time. Push that. I'm gonna just lock that one in to keep it from rolling.
Okay. And so how long will this set, Tom, to harden up?
Well, before we hand plane it, we probably give it about 2 hours.
Oh, that's it?
That's
2
all.
hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
But if it was maple, we'd probably go ahead and give it maybe 4 or 5 hours, just because it's
Okay.
harder. And this is more of a porous material. It takes the glue in quicker.
Okay.
Now, as I just lightly tighten it up, I'm gonna tap it. That gets it down nice and flat against the straight iron bar underneath.
Okay.
Because however it dries, how it's gonna be.
Oh,
so if it has
gotcha.
a curve in it and you didn't knock it down, it will dry
Dry
that
with
way.
that curve.
So I'm gonna look underneath, see the bars are nice and straight. A little air showing right here, see that?
Right,
So
yep,
I
I
need to
see
knock that
that.
down. All right, that took care of that one.
Yeah. In the
All right.
center a little bit.
And then to finish it off, you put one more clamp in the middle.
Okay.
So I'm gonna grab one more clamp from the clamp
right.
bar here.
I might
all
get
right.
it too tight.
Now I'll tell you.
Okay. So just start turning.
You'll know, yeah, just start
Oh,
turning.
this has a
there.
nice little handy handle on it.
Yeah. Now use 2 hands, one on top and one on the bottom. There you go, get a little leverage. All right, you got it.
How about that?
Yeah, and then you just look, notice how glue's squeezing out there?
Right. And I want to do this.
See how it's
That
also
would be
squeezing
bad.
out some wormholes? Isn't that cool? And there's
That
one
is
coming out
cool.
of the wormhole.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
that, what is that?
That's just
From
residue.
the wood.
Yeah,
Okay,
from the
gotcha.
planer.
Okay.
And so we have a good joint. I'm gonna check the bottom of it, make sure that's good.
Okay.
Flip it up here for the camera. All right, we got glue coming out there. This one here sealed up really good. No glue's even squeezing out of that one, but we saw it had plenty of glue on it. So that's all we have to do. The next, when it dries, we'll be sawing this part off.
Right.
Because as you notice, you didn't like these.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll be
those will
sawing
come
that straight off.
Okay.
And when I saw it, I'll make sure I don't hit these, and then we'll saw that, and then we'll rip the leaf to the right size, and you're ready to go for hand planing.
Great, and that's all the same process that you would go through with the big boards for the table,
Same for
right?
the tabletop, exactly.
Awesome.
Yep.
That's a lot of work. It's
All
worth
right.
it, though. It's beautiful. So tell me about hand planing.
Okay, what we do is we use old style hand planes like this.
Uh-huh.
And we grind down the blade so that it has a bit of an arch to it.
Oh, I see.
And
yeah.
we run this across the tops of most of the tables to kind of give it like an old-fashioned hand-hewn kind of like handwork look.
Right.
And people seem to like it. Like here's a piece of maple. It's going to be a bench that I've hand planed one side of.
Uh-huh.
And here, so this is what it feels like. You can run your hand across it.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what it feels like when it's done. It kind of, once the finish goes on it,
Yeah.
it kind of leaves like a little
It has some,
hand-tooled surface.
Yeah, exactly. That hand-hewn sort of feel to it.
Yeah.
So it's not so slick and so smooth like manufactured furniture. particularly.
Exactly,
So it
yes.
gives it more of a worn antique kind of feel to it.
Exactly.
Okay. great.
Exactly.
So this is actually part of my table, right?
This is your
Be gentle
company board.
with it.
I will.
okay?
I will. We left this in for you. And I know that you had
I like the saw
specified on the
marks.
ticket. You like.
Yeah.
I do too. I love
Yeah.
the saw marks. I love the wormholes, the nail holes, as much antiquity as possible. I love to.
I love it. And this is that a knot maybe, you think?
I
Or
think it
maybe a
either that
nail?
or a nail.
Okay.
Sometimes the nail leaves like a little black where it corrodes,
Right,
you know. So
right.
it could be a nail. but-
Okay, great. So you left this in one big long piece. Is that so you can get more stroke in there?
Yeah, I was just trying to leave as much as possible. And when I hand plane this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go real light on the spots that I'm trying to leave all the sawmill marks
Right.
because you really want that. So,
Okay,
so
great.
like say over here, what I'll do is I clamp this down first so it doesn't go
Alrighty.
all over the place.
Will I be out of your way if I'm over here?
That's perfect.
Okay, great.
All right, what I do is you kind of want to go with the grain.
Okay.
If you go against the grain, it'll tear out, and then you'll have to sand a lot or come back and put filler or something like that.
Okay.
So you want to kind of go with the grain, and I just kind of dive in. And so the grain's going this way, so it's leaving it nice and shiny. The grain is going in the opposite direction, so
Right.
it leaves it a little more torn out.
Okay,
Which is good
gotcha.
too sometimes for like a distress table because then
Right.
the glaze will go into these tear outs and kind of make it stand out a little
Okay. So on one particular board, does all the grain go the same way, or is when there's a knot in it, there's a variation in the grain?
bit. Both, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes like this, you can see the grain is going this way on this part of the board,
Right.
but right here, the same spot of the board, the grain's going the other direction.
Okay.
So it's the entire time you're kind of doing this and going
so
back
you
this
switch
way.
and go back and forth.
Yeah,
Okay,
and you just
okay.
you start to get the feel for it. After doing like 100 tables or so, you kind of
Sure.
know what to do.
Which way to go?
Yeah. So I'll hand plane this. And leaving little tear outs there.
Uh-huh.
So I'll probably come back like this. And since we're leaving this in, I'll raise the blade a little bit because I don't want to take it out after all that work to keep it. I would hate to take it out.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so what I'll do is really lightly.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Over that, and that's probably all I want to do for that because
Yeah,
any more and
that's
it'll
beautiful.
take it out.
Okay.
And then I'll set it a little deeper.
And then after you plane, will you actually like sand this, or is planing the last thing you do before finishing?
We'll lightly sand it.
Lightly.
We don't want to take out all the ripples, but
Right.
yeah, we'll lightly sand it
Just
so you
to
don't
kinda
get any
get the-
splinters and everything,
Right.
and it kind of seals the wood a little bit before
Oh,
we
okay.
bring it to the spray booth.
Good.
Let's feel it.
So this is really beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
You've done this a bunch, I can tell. So
done-
how long have you been doing this?
I've been here for 18 years, and I started out as the finish guy. With Tom hired me on as the finish guy, and then he moved me up to a woodworker. So
Okay.
and I've been. How long have I been doing woodworking here for? Guess it's been about 14 years?
At least 14
14 years doing the
14
woodworking.
years.
Yeah. It's a lot of tables.
That is a lot
That's a lot
of
of
tables.
benches.
Yeah, so now, did your family have like woodworking in your family, or did you just accidentally happen into this?
My grandfather was a part-time woodworker. It wasn't his profession, but he loved it. In 1952, he bought a shopsmith and built all the furniture in his house. And so he did it. And my father is a stonemason, so he works with his hands. So it's kind of in the family. And then my great-grandfather was a machinist. So I guess it kind of runs craftsman. Yeah, it runs in the blood a little bit.
Artist. Awesome, great. So this is my wormy chestnut, right?
Yes.
That we're
Yeah,
working
this is
with.
your company
and then
board.
what is this?
This is a bench for we call them the Tuscany trestle tables.
Okay.
And so this is the bench top. I glued it up and hand planed it.
And what type of wood is it?
This is maple. And
Maple.
this seems to be our most popular wood. It seems like everyone likes the maple because it's super sturdy, and you can stain it to match anything, you know.
Anything,
And,
okay.
and so yeah, we do a lot of maple.
Oh, that's great to know. And what would be your favorite wood to work with? I mean, are some easier or more difficult?
I like cherry a lot. Cherry's
Yeah?
nice. Yeah, it smells good when you're working with it. You know,
Really?
it smells like cherries when you're pushing it through the table saw. You actually can smell the fruit. I like cherry. I like the look of it. Yeah.
Okay, and so would this be softer or harder, or, I mean, as far as the texture of the wood or the density of the wood, does that make it more difficult to hand plane?
Definitely. Yeah, this is like butter compared to that.
Really?
This is real soft wood. It's super durable, but it's really soft, so it's easy to hand plane. Maple is probably one of the hardest woods to hand plane. Maple or oak.
Okay.
Would you like to try it? Just to take a swipe if you
I'm
want.
sort of afraid. but
I'll set the blade.
Now that he's thrown the gauntlet down, what am I going to do? I have to
See how
say
much
yes.
I can get her to do.
Yeah, this is sort of like that whole whitewashing the fence business, isn't it?
You'll love it.
You're doing a great job. Keep going.
It takes a whole top before you really get the hang of it.
Okay,
so
now let's not
here you go.
tell the person that this belongs to, that my hand's been on it. Okay, so wait, no, you can't just hand this to me.
okay.
Come on,
I'm sorry.
give me some instruction
Okay, so
here.
are you right-handed?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so with your right hand, you hold onto the handle like
Okay.
this.
All right.
And then with your left hand, you want to hold on to the front.
Okay.
And what you want to do is try to go with the grain. And
Okay.
it goes a lot easier. And this
Right.
is going to be what we call a heavy distress table, so you can't mess it up. I mean,
Okay.
they want tear outs like this. They want chunk outs. They
Oh,
want.
good. I think I
mean,
can handle that.
as
Maybe.
much as you can tear it up, the better. But I set it pretty high, and one of the things I try to always keep on it is paraffin wax.
Okay.
Paraffin wax. If you wax the
Oh, it
blade
helps to
or the
slide a little
sole,
better?
it really does. Yeah,
Okay.
it helps out a lot. So I try to wax it. So
I have one of these at home actually that's really old and has the wooden handles on
Oh,
it.
fantastic.
Rusted,
I
you know,
love
the
those.
whole thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know what to do with it. It's just a bookend.
now you do.
All right.
Another skill.
So just slide it, right?
Yeah, just
Okay.
go with the direction
Do
of
I
the grain.
pick it up before I slide it, or just leave it on the wood?
I would just leave it on the wood
Okay.
and push it through.
Oh my gosh,
There you
that's
go.
not. It's not so. Wait, I don't even have a curl yet. Do you have to bite your lip when you do this? Because I am.
I do, yeah.
How about
That's
stick
why I
your
have
tongue
lip
out?
rings.
Yeah, that is, if I had to do this all day long, I couldn't do it. That's incredible. I mean, you get a lot of resistance.
There's a
Like,
lot of
it slides
resistance.
at first, and then
Yeah.
it digs in, and there's resistance.
Right.
I would definitely have some nice arms by the time I did this for a few days.
You do. So you're fine. You're
Yeah, see, he's
ahead of
trying
the
to-
curve.
He's trying to get me to like just keep doing. You're doing a great
You're
job.
doing a great
Don't
job.
stop. So what about this one? Can I try it on that
Yeah,
one?
this is your company
That's
board. So
mine.
actually, this.
So if I
you
mess
can-
up, it's all my.
Yeah, and you can
mine.
have bragging rights when people are over at your house. I
look,
hand plane that.
That's my hand planing
Yeah.
mark right there. Okay, so I'm not
Yeah.
going to do this board.
Yeah,
'cause-
this one's good.
So
But,
can I do like here? You think?
that'd be
Or
perfect.
this one
Yeah, and the
maybe?
grain looks like it's going that way. So
Okay.
yeah, just start anywhere here and go in that direction,
Okay.
and you're fine.
Okay. And we're set good.
You're set good.
Okay. Do I need more wax? No, I'm just
I think
kidding.
you're right.
Oh, that's so much easier.
Yeah, it's butter.
But I think I made a big.
No, that's
That's
fine.
okay.
That's
Is that okay?
that's okay. Yeah.
Look, I
yeah.
actually have some
Oh yeah. See.
curlicues.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, that's not bad. Wow. So you just kind of. Okay, now I'm not digging in. What's happened?
And
Noah?
then if it
What
stops,
happened?
sometimes stuff will get caught in it, but sometimes you constantly have to adjust the depth
Oh,
of
gotcha.
the blade too, which is this right here. So
Wow.
we'll set it a little bit deeper, like that. Here you go.
Yeah, you really have to know what you're doing here.
There you go.
Okay,
Isn't that
so
gratifying?
what is that though?
That's perfect. No, this is what you want. Yeah, this is.
I know, but look, I left a little curling cue on the table.
that's
You'll
fine.
fix it, right?
Yeah, it'll be-
You know what? I think this belongs in the hands of a skilled craftsman, not me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Nice to
Pleasure
meet you.
building your table.
Yeah, thank you. It's beautiful. Great job.
Thanks.
Okay, Tom, so what are we looking at here?
Well, now that we got your tabletop all sorted out and you picked out your lumber and Noah's already hand planed the top, we're to the base now. And I'm going to explain, first of all, how we came up with this base. This was a pattern, of course, that you had selected.
Right?
And it's very like Fredericksburg, Texas. It's very intricate and we're going to be
Sort of a
putting a big...
German.
Yeah, kind of German. And this will be going on top of this base here. Just give everyone an idea, the audience, what it looks like. And this is going to be
Nice.
very thick.
Right.
And people from Texas like things bigger, so in the
Yes, we
showroom,
do.
she looked at our other trestle bases and she's like, yeah, not bad, but kind of wimpy. I want it bigger. So my
Oh,
regular...
yeah. That's
my-
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there you
That
go.
is beautiful.
Yeah,
That
it is
really
really
nice.
is. It's got some great wormholes in there too.
It does. I like the wormy chestnut. I like the thickness of it. It has a lot of weight to it.
Yeah, that's it really does look good thick like that too. Our normal chestnut that we get is flooring out of old barns or floor joists. And in your case, your tabletop is made out of the floor joists out of an old school from West Virginia. And they were the joists that held up the floor.
Right.
And they're 2 inches and they finish off at 1 3/4 inches.
Okay.
So I had to figure out how do I get her a thicker trestle base. So I'm going to step right over here for a second and show you how we figured that one out.
All right.
This looks like a chestnut trash pile, which it kind of is. But in here, let me get one of these out. We had some 5x5 chestnut barn beams, and this is about what they look like. This is the end we cut off. And what I did was bandsaw cut this in half. Because it's 5 inches, it get almost 2.5 inches.
Right.
So I'll just show you real quick how we make that base. Stepping over here. This is a bandsaw. And if you just go right down the middle. And to keep your thumbs away from the middle. That gives you 2.5 inches. And of course we clean it up on the joiner and the planer.
Beautiful.
And then when you glue those all together, like right here, you get an entire trestle side. So
So this is what this looked like before you cut.
exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so you start off with something now, it's 2.5 inches thick, you got glue running down, it's uneven and whatever,
Right.
so we have to square that up and then put our pattern on it and cut it out.
Oh, okay, so
So-
will you cut this on the same saw?
I will, yeah. I did discover something that I'll show you in a minute why we're using the bandsaw.
Okay.
So we'll unclamp these furniture clamps here. Pull this out. You want to take
Got
that
it?
clamp?
You got it.
All right. All right, this here is going to be squared up next, so we're going to put it on this sliding table saw.
All right.
And what this does is you want to make sure the blade's higher than the wood so it'll saw all the way through. We're going to saw this square.
And you don't draw a line or anything, or are you just
No,
gonna?
you don't need to for your first cut. You will for your second cut.
Okay.
First
I
cut,
would
you just
need
want to
it
make
for
sure.
every cut. Okay.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that it's going to look like the Manhattan skyline when we slice it off here. But I am measuring to make sure that we have enough room. I got
Okay.
25 inches, and I need. See how much we have here. Let's see. I need 24 and 5/8, so we're in good shape. Now this is going to pop up. That's
All
our
right.
dust collector. It's going to put dust on you, so you might want to step back just a hair.
Move over this way a little bit.
There we go. Sometimes it shoots air out. out for a second. All right, this one we are going to mark. And let's make sure they're exactly the same here. 24 and 5/8.
Yeah, let's not make a mistake, okay?
Yeah, we don't want to make a mistake. Take a lot of glue to make up for that. Besides, all the worms that made these wormholes, they're on strike this year, so we're kind of stuck. All right. That should about do it. We always say as long as you're within an inch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, you see where it is on the line?
Right.
So now I can back up. I try and always go over a little bit so I can come up to the line. There we go. Dead on.
Perfect.
All right. Now we got to get it the same width. Let's see what we have over here. Now, before I explain the width, because we have to get this pattern, what I found out is with this intricate, let me put it up here so the audience can see it. With all this intricate cutting here, a regular jigsaw, let me get one out of the cabinet here. This is what we would normally use. It's a jigsaw, it goes up and down and you can cut.
Right.
And we use it on our regular trestles, but yours was thicker, so I thought, well, no problem, I'll go to Lowe's and get a longer blade. But what I found out is, as you cut the pattern, here it is cut exact, just like right there.
Oh, okay.
But the
Beautiful.
blade angles out, and you don't get the same pattern on the other side.
Right, right.
And so that would have been a disaster on TV. So I did it ahead of time to make sure I wouldn't get in trouble.
So that won't fit on this saw though, right?
This piece here is so big
And
for
so
the bandsaw that I can't turn it around in the blade without hitting the machine. So what we're going to do is saw this in half.
No.
Yep, sorry. And put
It's
the
so
pattern
beautiful.
on. Yep, and then we're going to put it back together. But actually,
Okay.
you'll never know the difference. And wood glue is actually stronger than wood anyhow. So
Really?
yeah, so it will be perfect when we're done, just like that one. That was already been sawn in half and already put back together.
And so this one too was sawn in half.
Yep.
But I don't see a seam or anything.
Right, and that's
Wow.
it went right through. We'll put it down here so I can get a little light on it. It went right through the middle of this board, but you can see it's almost impossible to see.
Yeah.
And once
I
it's
don't
hand
see it.
planed and sanded, it'll be invisible. You won't see it at all.
That's amazing.
So that's what we're gonna do. Now, we'll set this on here. The reason that this is longer than the pattern
Right?
is this is going to have what's called a tenon cut into it.
Okay.
And the tenon will go into a hole, a big long square hole here called a mortise. So that will drop in. So I have to
Okay.
leave a 1/2 inch top and bottom for that.
dropping in.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
So then once you worry that, looks like it's too long there. Where's this guy getting this from?
I'll try not to tell you what to do.
All right, and it's okay to have it wider because bandsaw just cuts that off.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is just make these parallel, and you can pretty much just do that by your eye, and then I'm gonna trace the pattern on there
Wow.
just using a pen. And I usually just extend it on here because it doesn't really matter, it's gonna get cut off.
Now, do you use a pattern for all your tables, or is this because this one is a design that I came up with?
We try and make a pattern. If a customer doesn't like one of ours, then we'll make one special.
Okay.
Just like we did for you for Texas.
Oh, I know. So, are we going to name this one?
Yeah, this is going to be called the,
Uh-oh, on the fly here.
I guess it was called the Lone Star.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
That's kind of nice, yeah.
By the way, for the audience, this is going to be a cast iron star that she
Yeah.
picked out. That is going to go right about here with a hole through it, bolting through your, what do you call those things?
Turnbuckles.
Turnbuckles.
Yep.
It's going to look pretty neat.
Thank you.
So it's kind of fun when a customer has their own design. We're happy to make it if we can do it.
Yeah, it's been a great experience. I mean, the whole design process, it was fun. We're right on target. That's exactly the picture that I gave to you. That looks just like the one that I brought from the
Good.
internet.
That's
It's
what we like to
beautiful.
do. For your customers at home and people watching TV right now, this part I'm doing right now is extremely dangerous, so never attempt this at home.
How long have you been doing this?
This is my 30th year.